You know, if there's one thing I knew was going to happen coming from you, the clan members, through my emails, is the appointment of, I think, Commissioner Skipper in Limpopo. You know, when I saw that appointment, I was smiling from ear to ear. I was so jealous of Limpopo, and I'm still jealous of Limpopo. If you've been around here for a hot minute, you would know that here, I've said it several times, that I've lost faith in the police. And then later on, I asked myself, who exactly have I lost faith in when it comes to the police? And I've said, and I repeat this without ambiguity or vagueness, I've lost faith in our black South African police servicemen and women. I've lost faith. I've lost faith in the police, but specifically our black South African police servicemen and women. And I think many South Africans would agree with me because we've been disappointed over and over and over by the very people that swore to serve and to protect us. And you would think because, well, they should understand. They come from communities where crime was the order of the day. They probably became police officers maybe because they experienced something terrible in their family and they decided, hey, I'm going to be a police officer someday so that I can protect my family, my community, and my country. The moment they wore the blue uniform, they saw all of us as walking ATMs. But they quickly learned that it is useless to look at a black South African as an ATM. And probably they celebrated that we are not just South Africans, but you will have Nigerians. By the way, I'm still saying, I mean, this proves my point that there's no way that in our prisons, Nigerians make the lists of prisoners in our jails. Impossible. Impossible. Why? Because our black police officers see Nigerians and other foreign nationals, and whether these foreign nationals, they sell white powder, they kidnap, they mug and unalive South Africans, as long as at the end of the day, they are able to make money out of these people, the rest, who cares? There was even a video, I tried to look for it, and I'm going to continue to try looking for it. If I find it and I did not include it here, I'm going to post it as a shorts, where a Zimbabwean man sitting down, caught by the community, and the father of a child that the foreign national had murdered asked him, how did you get out? And he said he paid 4,500 rand. And it was not just, it did not just start with the police officer, but the police officer was the gateway for him to escape the law. But he had to pay a total of 4,500 rand. That's how cheap the life of a 7-year-old girl was to the South African Police Service that's supposed to have had this man behind bars, but they released him.
Angitshele ubulela ingane yami. Ngifuna ungichazele iqiniso la. Sakubophisa nomphakathi. Waboshwa. Waya police station. Waphuma. Uphume kanjani?
Ngakhipha i-2000 ngayisenda efonini ukuze efonini kaJali.
Ubani uJali?
Jali lawyer. Ngaphinda ngalelo langa futhi sengakhipha enye 20,000 rand ngayifaka futhi kuye ukuthi wakhipha 600 ngaphinda ngasenda futhi enye lokungane 1,000 rand.
I-total money wayikhipha yonke emalini
4,600.
wangena kuma-magistrate wena awungenanga kuma-magistrate awufikanga ecourt kungani ungafikanga
Hayi bafika basimisa ngapha ngingeza phakathi endlini.
iphoyisa eliphethe icala lathini lona
Iphoyisa iphethe icala mina ngagcina mboshwa kuphela lapha iphoyisa ngizangandibona futhi.
lakhuluma neloya ilona elithethe intshontsho okay ungabe unazi inombolo zaleli loya hayi cha akunankinga ngoba iphoyisa eliphethe icala nali likhona uyabona siyabonga ubhadale 5,000 rand 4,600 impilo yomntanami ukuthi ihambe uphume uze ngaphandle kulungile.
So if you are going to come at me with chip on your shoulder, then say, oh, no, why you skipper this? I don't care. I don't care. Once upon a time, the South African police, when they were in this color, you remember this color? They were feared. They were feared within when they were used to be this color. And the reason why I support the appointment of Skipper, I am hoping that I don't know who appointed, is it the minister or is it the national commissioner? I am hoping for Gauteng to have the likes of Skipper. I am hoping that the likes of, is Western Cape will have a Skipper. We already have Nkalhla Mkhwanazi in KwaZulu-Natal who's doing a brilliant job. So basically what I'm saying is all the hot cities where the likes of Skipper are needed, they get appointed. I would rather the South African Police Service run only by white Afrikaner men. Because we know they get the job done. You know that those threats he was making about corruption, that he will take the police officers from blue to orange uniform. I was like, that's what I want to hear. And that is what I want to see as well.
Corruption is the other thing that kills us. We have so many reports of members who are saying they arrested this undocumented person. Just around the corner they stop and he's back on the street. Now, the days when a person in this country, because to be in this country illegal without documents is a crime. The day when our members look at them and see an ATM, a walking ATM, stops today. Because there's no way, colleagues, that we can fight crime. There's no way that we can win the community back to our side. There's no way that they will trust us again if we are not decisively dealing with corruption and with our members who's colluding with criminals. We cannot work with those who are working against us. My first instruction will be to the DPC crime detection. We will resource our anti-corruption unit today.
Where police officers that are caught with their hand in a cookie jar, stripped of the blue uniform, and replaced with the orange jumpsuit. Oh, that will be amazing. I would celebrate that sight. I would celebrate that sight. Because we are in a mess we are in because of our men in blue. Did you see them in the Western Cape hamstrung? Why do you think they were hamstrung? Because they are in the pockets of those Nigerians that were throwing trash cans at them. But if it was South Africans throwing trash cans at them, we would be talking a different Andres Tatane story today. Today, it will be Andres Tatane 2.0. But because they collect bribes few days ago probably, and then now you are coming to search and seizure. So, but can you imagine Commissioner Skipper in the Western Cape? Do you think those police officers would have been hamstrung? I think Skipper would have said, hang on a minute, let's talk about it. Why didn't you do your job? And I like the fact that his first stop is to work with intelligence, because that's what you're supposed to do. There are crimes in this country that could be curbed just like that before they even gained any momentum. The moment they show their ugly head, curbed, gone. South Africans wouldn't have known they existed, such crimes. But there are crimes now that we are all finding ourselves asking ourselves, dumbfounded, what just happened? And Skipper is going to put an end to those crimes. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I don't care what you say. And I've been responding to people like, I am jealous. I'm jealous. I'm a green eye monster right now for Gauteng. Because the current provincial commissioner, I don't even understand when he speaks. I have no idea what he's saying. And you think he is fighting crime? Crime in Gauteng just keeps getting worse by the day. The police officers of Gauteng no longer want to work. They are tired of South African citizens saying to them, we need to go collect these illegal foreigners. You said don't touch them, don't search them, don't use Section 42. So now let's go with you because we know where they are. But instead of arresting them, they go to the other side, take bribe and release them. So what are South Africa? I want to ask this to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development as the chairperson of the interministerial committee. What are South Africans supposed to do? What are we supposed to do when the very law authorities that you say leave it to them, they are not doing their work? What are we supposed to do? But I'll tell you something, Minister, because I think the South African government is skating on thin ice with South Africans. The more South Africans are trying their level best to work with law enforcement, there's going to come a time where, because they're showing South Africans that, no, we don't care. We don't care, because they see ATMs out of these foreign nationals. And you know what they tell them? Move from this area and go to another area. But in order for this person to move from this area to another area, he has to go back to that community to collect his things or her things. And what do you think the committee is going to do when they see him or her again? So this is setting up South Africans for failure, because the government itself is waiting for South Africans to make that mistake that the rest of Africa is asking. Well, we hear you condemning South Africans, but we don't see action. They want to see Jacinta in jail for exercising her constitutional right with South Africans. To them, no, that's unacceptable. To them, they want to see Ramaphosa exerting the fear into South Africans, like how they do in their own countries. I mean, did you see Zimbabwe? On the 31st of July, I've been quiet about this one because I know Zimbabweans are cowards. I did not say anything. I did not support it. I would have loved to, but you'll be wasting your energy on Zimbabweans because they are cowards. Big up here on things that does not belong to them because they want to hold on to something that isn't theirs when everything of theirs is back home. But no. Too afraid. You can never change your country when you are fearful. We saw those, I don't know, what do you call them? Buckies full of soldiers ready to pounce. ready to beat people up, shoot people up. But how are you supposed to fix your country if none of y'all lay your lives down? I knew it was gonna flop. And I said to myself, girlie, however much you raise from the Zimbabweans, take that money and do everything that you ever want to do in your life, because you would have taken it from cowards. They would donate it because they were going to fold their arms and then gonna come to the streets. They are pushing you forward to go get the bullets. So take the money, girl. You did not scam anybody. You scammed nobody. No matter what they say, you scammed nobody. You had a good intention, but your good intentions was met with what was obvious going to happen. Zimbabwean government does not like democracy. Never has. So, yeah, I just thought let me throw in that. But coming back to Skipper in Limpopo, I'm jealous. Oh, I'm jealous. I don't want to lie, fellow South Africans. I am so jealous because I know the job is gonna get done. I mean, you hear it in his voice, you hear it in his assertiveness, you hear it that he is also fed up. Now that he's got this power, he is going to clean Limpopo. Well, Limpopo is still part of South Africa, but I'm jealous for Gauteng and the Western Cape. I'm very envious of that. But I don't know. At least now you know how I feel about the police. Unfortunately, black police officers are the reason why many South Africans don't believe or trust the police. Even though Skipper is trying his level best to say we need to restore South African people's trust in the police, it's going to take a very long time, Mr. Skipper. That one thing I can assure you. Unless you can turn the leaf like this in Limpopo, then we will need you as a national police commissioner. I'm telling you, we will need you as a national police commissioner, because all these other ones that have been thrown at us, how has it worked for us? How has it worked for us? I love Masemula. I respect him. But there are some things that went over his head that shouldn't have. I'm looking for a national police commissioner that is going to focus on policing, not on comradeship. That's what I'm looking for. So if we already found our national police commissioner in Skipper, then we need to make some noise. We need to make some noise as South Africans. But I will be watching what's going on in Limpopo. Yeah. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Those of you that asked, here we go. I mean, I've said this before many a times. And I've given example of this picture, that once upon a time, the South African police force, as it used to be called, Skit and Donner. These didn't play games. So if this is where we have to go back to, then I don't have an issue with that, because safety and security is important. And our black South African police servicemen and women, they don't see the need for safety and security. All they do is wear that uniform, collect our tax money in form of salaries, and then they collect bribes and neglect the serve and protect aspect of their vows to South Africa. It's an oath to South Africans. Ngekatel, I'm done. I'm done. We need something new, something a little familiar, but new. We need people who are going to wrestle with crime head on. As crime changes faces and it also adapts to the 21st century, we now have cyber crimes that need to be curbed. Yahoo boys that come from Nigeria, now they call themselves crypto traders. committing crimes against South Africans. Things that shouldn't even be happening because the police would have been on top of it. But no, South Africans continue to get scammed, robbed, and you're like, but this crime can be curbed. And I keep asking, where are the intelligence? Oh, Skipper found them. DPCI, he said, is going to start working with. So meaning they are going to sit down and draw up a plan. See, South African police working with intelligence. But it's in Limpopo. In Limpopo. No, maybe we need him at the national office. I'm getting paid like this. With this jealousy that I feel. No, thank you. We need him as National Police Commissioner. We need him as Police Commissioner. National. Anyways, let me leave the video right here. I don't know what your thoughts are. What did you feel? What did you think with the appointment of Skipper? I'm glad that the people of Limpopo actually accepted him so well with song and celebrations. But I was still jealous though. I was like, why not in Gauteng? We have a police commissioner that I don't understand what is. Oh, gosh, help us all. Anyways, goodbye.